All right, we are live. We are live. Let me mute this. All right, trying to get this this Facebook going live. So here we are. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me, guys, on Facebook. Let's see. Where am I? Okay. So, all right. Today, as I announced before, is our Volvic Energy Cleanse webinar. I just wanted to invite you all in, and for those of you who have not signed up yet, so you can get your questions answered personally, you still have time to go to the link and come to our Zoom room. This is where we are at the moment. This is going to be a super, super hot topic. So I just want to encourage you to go ahead and sign in. If you, like I mentioned a couple of days ago, if you are having problems with your energy field as far as has been sexually abused, trying to get your life together, you know, have been traumatized or some sort of psychological pain, you will definitely benefit from this webinar. So you still have time to go sign in to Facebook, from Facebook to the Zoom room. Like I said, that's the only place we will be able to answer your questions, and you'll be able to interact with us. So for those of you who are wondering what we're going to be talking about, it's Volvic Energy Cleanse. And yes, I do have my host here with me. She will be joining us in our webinar. Hey, Altia, good to see you, beautiful. You got to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. There you go. You look beautiful today.
So do you. So do you.
I know. I decided to hop on a little earlier so the Facebook people can start getting engaged before we hop onto our Zoom. Do you want to say something before we get into our Zoom room?
Well, I'm so excited. I mean, we've put so much time and effort and energy and really passion into preparing for this. And if nothing else, our heart for women and men's healing is going to show through. So I am just ready for everyone to jump on and learn how rebalancing their power source and cleansing it is going to help them move forward.
Definitely. I'm sure there will be a lot of takeaways and a lot that people will benefit from this. I am super, super happy that you collaborated with me to do this. It's so beautiful to be able to give back to the community and to show more self-love and unity. And by us doing this, it definitely help to understand what energy is all about. especially with what we're going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's hop into our Zoom room and see who is here. Let's see. And for those of you who are here already, just type in the chat where you're from, and say hi. I know we're here. I'm here in Chicago. Out there, where are you from?
I'm in Missouri. So
You're in Missouri.
far from each other.
Yes, it's not really too warm over on this end. What about on your end?
I haven't been outside all day. And Missouri weather, it's like infamously unpredictable. So like one day you'll go out with like full winter jacket on and it's like so warm and it's like, okay, what's going on?
I hear you. All right. So if you're confused as of why you can't move forward in a new relationship, if you are confused of moving forward in any other way, if you are on a quest to live your best life, if you have experienced sexual abuse, or if you have never had an orgasm during sex, yes, you're hearing me, I can assure you that today you'll walk away with big nuggets. And this afternoon, Altia and I are going to give you the utmost best. This is going to be a super juicy webinar on vulvic energy cleanse. Today, we will be teaching you 2 of 7 ways to cleanse and rebalance your power source. And if implemented correctly, it will help optimize your health so you can start living a balanced life. With that, we will dedicate 30 minutes to teaching and an additional 30 minutes to answer any questions you may have. You can ask them in the chat box below, or you can send them directly to us, selecting our names privately so not anyone can see, and whatever works for you, it doesn't matter. So, all right, let me give you a little rundown of what this webinar is going to be like today. First, we will introduce ourselves, Altia and I, and then Altia will be teaching on the vulva, how yoni eggs can rebalance heavy emotion related to your power source. And she will also be leading us through an exercise to cleanse both your aura and your physical space. I will be reviewing common issues related to energy, distorted energy in the sacred sexy area, and I will teach on the ancient practice of yoni steaming. We will then leave the floor open for any questions, and then we'll wrap it up. So we don't want to keep you here too long. So now that you know what to expect, let's go ahead and introduce yourselves. For those of you who don't know me, and those of you who are watching, my name is Adelita Rayburn. I know firsthand how frustrating it feels to feel stuck and unhappy. As a certified transformational coach and hypnotist who is specialized in relationship and self-love, I help people get free and live their joy. And I do this solely and wholly through mindset, spirituality, and metaphysics. This allows you to become the best version of yourself, which is the key to success. So Altia, go ahead, take it away. Introduce yourself.
Sounds good. Okay. I'm gonna ask for your permission to share my screen with the audience.
Okay. Sure.
Here. As soon as you grant me permission, I will share my screen there.
Okay.
This is such, I'm so excited to share.
I know
with the audience. Okay.
You should be to share your screen. Can you try it now?
We should be good to go. So let me go on that screen. and share and click over here and click over here and present and ta-da, love technology. So first, let me just say, again, it's my absolute honor to be one of your coaches this afternoon. Adelita and I have been brainstorming this idea for quite some time now, and it's our biggest desire to walk away from this webinar, or to help you walk away from this webinar, moving one step closer to the life that you know you can have with a little bit of work, of course. My name is Althea Burke. I'm a Bible teacher, self-acceptance expert, and I have master's level training in the transformational coaching method. And on a day-to-day basis, I partner up with professional and ambitious women who are 35 years and older, who have all the credentials and all the experiences, yet they still feel a deep dissatisfaction in life, but they know there's a better way of living. And through my proprietary process, women can stop talking bad about themselves. They can learn how to love themselves unconditionally and understand themselves on a deeper level. And this matters because I believe that true fulfillment in life is a result of completely understanding, accepting, and being your own best friend through a process of self-discovery. So for the next 11 minutes, I'm going to talk about the vulva, how yoni eggs can rebalance heavy emotions related to your power source. And because we love to over deliver, I'm going to include a bonus exercise that we do with our one-on-one coaching clients. So, do you know the difference between your vulva and your vagina? Most women don't know the distinction, and honestly, until very recently, I didn't know the difference either. So the vulva is the outer part of the reproductive region, the woman's reproductive system. And that includes, let me get my pointer on, and that includes the pubic hair region. It includes the inner and the outer lips, as well as the clitoris and the clitoris hood called the prepuce. Now, the vagina is merely an elastic muscular canal, and it's the vagina that connects the uterus to the outside world, and powerfully, the next generation comes from the vagina. And you know what? Even if a woman chooses to remain child-free, what the vulva represents is so powerful. It is a life force. It is our power source. And I found in my life coaching practice that it's common for women to, for example, turn to sex to feel good, right? And it starts this cycle of seek and hide. Seek sex for fulfillment and then hide in regret because it's unsatisfying, and there's guilt because it's not really what we wanted to do, but we did it anyways. Who can relate? And this cycle goes on. Now, yoni eggs are a tool that can be used to rebalance heavy emotions like regret and guilt and shame related to your power source. And yoni is a Sanskrit word meaning vagina or a sacred portal. And yoni eggs themselves, they are semi-precious stones carved into the shape of eggs that can be inserted into a woman's womb space for either vaginal tightening or energetic cleansing. And I'm going to show you an example shortly. Now, commonly, the eggs are made from obsidian, which is this large black egg here, or rose quartz, which is this medium pink one, and the small egg, which is nephrite jade. And yoni eggs have been all the rave in the spirituality and wellness world for years. Obsidian is said to clear mental stress and tension, and it urges exploration of the unknown and opens new horizons. And rose quartz, my favorite, is said to open the heart to unconditional love. love of self, love of family, love of friends, and especially romantic love. And then finally, nephrite jade is said to help in balancing male and female energy, and it works to stabilize and protect the body and the mind. Now, my personal belief is that the stones themselves don't carry power. But it's like that mindset that's cultivated when you're using the rose quartz egg, for example. You're focusing on behaving in ways that demonstrate being open to receiving and giving love. And that is what I think ushers in that personal transformation. That's my opinion. I'm curious what yours is. In the chat box, just let us know, do you think the mind is powerful in ushering personal transformation? I do, however, believe in the eggs for two main reasons. So number one, their vaginal and pelvic floor strengthening capacity. And once I show you the eggs, it's all gonna make sense, because really your vaginal floor has to tighten around the eggs to grip them with the Kegel muscle. And then secondly, using the eggs as part of a spiritual experience, encouraged to abstain from any activities like penetration of any kind that disrupt the harmony between your sacred portal and the yoni eggs healing energy. So in that way, the woman can go into herself to hear from her inner wisdom, to heal what needs to be healed, and then she can move forward. So obsidian, jade, rose quartz, which one of these eggs is speaking to you right now? So let me show you a few eggs before we move forward. They're gonna be in a plastic package here, because it might be something that I give away down the road. So let me get it kind of close here. So here we have an example of the three eggs. These are the rose quartz. Here's the small egg. So this is like advanced level over here. And then we've got the medium egg, the medium size egg, and then the large egg, which is what you would start with. Now, if I just turn this upside down here, the eggs are inserted broadside first, and then on the end of them, which you can't see right now, but each of the eggs have a hole that has been drilled through them, which you can put a string through, and the string would remain outside of your vaginal opening. Now, I'm noticing a trend where a lot of women are inserting the eggs inside of male condoms, and then the excess of that condom remains outside, which I think is a good idea, because not all eggs are made the same. Some of the eggs are made from synthetic qualities, and that can cause some irritation. And in that regard, putting the male condom on and inserting the egg while you're using your Kegel muscles to grip the egg is a good idea. And finally, for scale, I've got a quarter here. The smallest egg is literally the size of the quarter. And the medium egg is maybe a quarter and a half, right? And then the largest egg, I'd say, is about an inch and a half long. Okay. So that completes talking about the vulva and yoni eggs. So let's get into the exercise. And if you have a piece of some paper and pen, this is the time to take some notes. Now, this is one of the first exercises that I will do with one-on-one clients entering into my mentored partner experience 12-week coaching program. This is a tough exercise because it requires you to let go of things, but it's also just an amazing exercise. So I made this exercise for this group today. I've never given these strategies to anyone else before. And I really want you to get what you came for today, which might be to move on from old habits, move on from relationships that aren't satisfying, or even just helping you to deal with some unpleasant emotions. So here it is. Number one, remove the ring from your ring finger. This is a literal and energetic block to someone putting one on your finger. And I will say, as a caveat, if that's your goal, you know, if you're not married and want to be, remove the ring from your ring finger. Get a pretty box and place the ring in the box for safekeeping. I pawned all my gifted jewelry and I donated the cash, but I'm a cold turkey kind of person. And I'll tell you a personal story later on once we're in a Q&A time. But it turned out really good for me. Number two, toss stuffed animals. You know, stuffed animals tend to activate a longing for closeness with the gifter. So give those away. Number three, throw out old underwear and lingerie. Okay. If the vulva holds memories, then so do these intimate wear items. Throw them out. Number four, splurge on some new bedding and donate the old ones. And then you can look forward to new dreams and opportunities for some fresh memories. And finally, get rid of old cards and letters. Well, most of them. Okay, I know this is a tough one, but put these cards and letters in the same pretty box with the ring or jewelry, because reminiscing on what was or what could have been and what isn't is the hallmark of resistance. Okay, and it keeps you further away from inner healing. And that is the Clearing the Clutter Vulvic Energy Cleansing Edition. And this combination of energy cleansing and clearing your physical space, it is powerful.
Oh, yes, yes. Super, super powerful information there, Altia. I love that. I love that. So many times we look to solve an issue from the outside when the solution is really within. You know, practical little things like these done consistently will lead to the biggest change as you can ever imagine. I mean, as there's a saying that goes like, small hinges swing big doors. Think
Yes.
about these little hinges and these big old doors just going. That just goes to show that you little move you make, you are doing something to better yourself. So you know, we got to start somewhere. And actually this exercise out there really makes me realize that the choice is mine, whether it is to let go of the things that keep me stuck, and also keep the things that bring me joy, which is very important in order for our masculine and feminine energy to become balanced. You know.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself, Adelita. Right on point.
Yeah, it is a powerful exercise, and my clients find the clearing the clutter like the toughest thing to do, but when they're done, it's like the most freeing exercise they could have ever done. So, you know, just I encourage women to take these little steps, you know. All right, so let's move forward. The benefits of Valvic Energy Cleanse are amazing. So the thing about it is that there's a lot of potent and destructive energy which can be caught in our sacred sexy area, such as energy from toxic past partners, sexual abuse, trauma, and shame. Women hold a lot of trapped emotions and psychological pain in their vagina and their womb space, and these distorted energy in the womb leads to recurring problems such as yeast infection, miscarriage, infertility, and trust me, a whole heap of sadness. You wonder why you're so sad sometimes. There's energy trapped. These are just some of the common problems that we as women complain about. So with that said, ready to learn the secret to women's wellness? All
Yeah.
right. So This is an ancient practice. It's called yoni steaming. Any one of you know about that? Put it in the comments below. Um, after years of passionate research, this is one way to reconnect with your body and to create balance. I and my clients have experienced so many benefits using this cleanse, mainly in transforming their energy and embodying their true powers. Um, for myself as well, this was such a really good practice. And this is the reason why today I choose to share this with you guys, so you can start and transforming your energy and embodying that true power that you have within. So yoni steaming, also known as vaginal steaming, is a holistic practice. It is in which a woman allows the warmth of herbs to steam and gently penetrate the vagina. If you were born in Belize in my era, this was a big thing after birth. Your granny or the midwife or whoever gave birth would have you do this vaginal steam for 9 days. Let us know in the comment. Did you ever do this? Did your granny ever let you do this, or the midwife? I mean, this was such a sacred thing. You would have to do it. This was not a question that they would ask you if you wanted to do it. It was done. So steaming is a powerful ancient remedy, and this has been passed down from generations to generations among women, mainly to support the reproductive health, but also it was done to reconnect the woman to her power center and the creative energy that allows to connect the masculine and the feminine energy and create balance and purification. And it also removes toxic energy, and along with vast and various benefits from this plant-based medicine. This is still used in practice in many cultures worldwide, and it has been rediscovered by countless women, which I'm very happy about, because this practice is so potent. It has been done for years. Dr. Rosita Arvigo, ND, she is a herbalist doctor and teacher of Mayan medicine. She lived and studied with Mayan healers in Belize for nearly 30 years, and this is where I came from. Central America, a small country in Central America. During her time working with the healers, she gained such an intimate understanding of this long history and this amazing benefit of vaginal steaming. And since then, she, carried the practice and used it along the way. So this treatment is so gentle and safe, and it provides effective support um, to the body. So let's just connect with ourselves. Let's just give ourselves the permission and inspire each other to heal our bodies and connect with love. Um, and we all need this. So let's look at some of the benefits of vaginal steaming. It releases emotion, stored emotion, and it taps into the energy that is our creative potential, the origin of life. This is the place from which we birth not only babies, but ideas, vision, and business. Your yoni, that's one of the names they call it, better known as vagina or coochie, whichever one you want to call it, is the center of the emotional, sexual, intellectual, energetical well-being. And yoni steam is a beautiful way to honor and celebrate that sacred part of the body. That's the only place you get a sense of excitement and pleasure. The height of excitement and pleasure that you can get is from that one place. And it also significantly reduced pain, bloating, exhaustion associated with menstruation. For those of you who still have these menstruation problems, it steaming decrease the flow, as well as it reduces dark purple or brown blood at the beginning or at the ending of your menstrual cycle. Meanwhile, it regulates it. It also speeds up healing and tone the reproductive system after birth. This whole thing opens up. It helps bring it back together. It's also said to reduce urinary fibroids, ovarian cysts, urinary weaknesses, urinary prolapse, and so much more when it comes to that part of our bodies. It also ease the symptoms of menopause, which I can talk about from experience. I've used this so much because it helps relieve the symptoms of it, as well as the dryness or the pain during intercourse. It detoxifies the womb and remove toxin from the body. And that's just a few to mention. There's so many benefits from doing this. So let's talk a little bit about how this is done. I want to show and tell you guys how this is done, and how I do this practice. And it is simple. You can easily do this in the comfort of your own home. It involves boiling some herbs in a pot for 10 minutes. This is what I like to use. I have two different ones. And when you get them, try to make sure you look for organic. You want organic stuff. It smells so good. It's just a bunch of dried herbs, if you can see. Lavender, chamomile, mother root, and stuff like that. It's a mixture of different herbs. So you boil this herb in for 10 minutes in a pot. Then you take the hot herb, pour it in a bowl, which is designed especially for that, because I don't want to have a glass bowl that I've been using to sit over in my kitchen. So it's designed especially for that. And then I get a 5-gallon bucket. And I put the hot boiling stuff inside the glass bowl and set it inside of a bucket. And then I get a seat to put on top of the bucket. I like to be creative, guys. They sell these things as far as like the steaming tub or whatever you want to call it. I like to be creative, so I just get a bucket, a glass bowl, and if you order the steaming herbs, they have some of the seats that come with it, but this one had the bottom, and for me it was too shallow. So if you put hot herbs there, this is designed to sit on top of a toilet seat. So if you put the hot stuff in here, you gotta be careful your coochie don't get burned. So I decided to cut out the bottom, be creative. I know I got a son that is just like me, like to create all kinds of stuff. And I put it in the bucket, set this on top of the bucket, and it provides perfect steam. So once you've done that, and the main thing is I don't use it in the bathroom because I like a very private area where I can feel like it's sacred. So I would create a little sacred spot, do that, and then they also sell like the robe that you can use to cover over with the bucket, but I just go halfway down. I get a long skirt that can go all the way over on the bucket. I sit on it and enjoy that steam. I also sometimes like to get, cozy and everything. So in my little sacred area, I would get a little blanket, dim the lights, light a candle, especially in these cold months. Maybe light some incense, listen to like some meditation music, and just relax. This is so peaceful, enjoying the steam. And you can do this for 30 minutes. Just sit there and enjoy the steam, and you do this 2 to 3 times a month. It's very beneficial, super, super cool. There's 2 things to avoid, though. I want to make sure I make this very clear. 2 things to avoid when you're doing your steam. And oh my gosh, that aroma is really good too. It smells so, so rich. So 2 things not to do is avoid steaming during menstruation. You would want to steam a week prior or a week after. I do not encourage doing it during then. Next thing, do not do steaming if you have IUD in some type of an inserted implant for, whatever protection. So those are the two main things. Also, before I wrap up this part of the session, I would like to mention that even though this webinar is for women, I am very sure some men out there are watching us. And I have nothing wrong, nothing is wrong with that. I really appreciate you guys being here listening. And I'm certain there are men out there that are having stuck energy. And I want to encourage you guys, as a mother of two sons and countless males in my family, my heart is completely open to seeing men heal, be strong and whole. I mean, we as women have so much support. What about the men? What about the men in our lives? So let's look out for them as well. So I just wanted to throw in this today for them. I want to encourage you guys to start burning a little sage to keep the energy area, your physical area, clean of toxic energy, and followed by burning some sweet grass or lemongrass, I call it, to attract positive energy. Those are two top ancient purification remedy that can be done wherever in the house. For women can use it as well, but this I try to gear it towards men. And that's just a little tip for you guys out there to take away. I coach one man in particular who was struggling with stuck emotion. He was so depressed. And by including these two little things in his wellness work that we've done together, he experienced massive energy shift and pathways opening up for him. Matter of fact, he landed a new job, clearing up some of these energy. So now let me get back to my gorgeous ladies out there. If you would like instructions and product recommendations for this yoni steaming, which I encourage you to practice, send me a direct message including your name and email using the chat button, or you can send it on private message, Facebook, so I can send it out to you. I'd love to do whatever I can to start to help you start getting towards this beautiful practice and getting your energy feel shifted, and become more present with your energy field. So yeah, Altia.
So I've just shared in the comment section where people can contact you. So for those who don't know, make sure you have, when you're sending a message, you have the option to send your message to everyone or to participants individually. So just select Adelita's name and you can send her a direct message with your name and contact information so she can send you the instructions on how to yoni steam and recommendations for products. Or you can reach out to her through Facebook as well, and that information is in the chat section. I see a message from Chrissy, who is joining us from Alaska, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm Chrissy, let us know if you're comfortable. Is Mirena a form of, is that an IUD? Because if it is, yeah, I would strongly encourage you to take Adelita's suggestion and not do this, but reach out to her and we can see if we can find some viable workarounds for you to enjoy similar experiences that won't affect any intrauterine devices. Okay, so Adelita, just before we move into the question and answer portion, I have to say, I do love yoni steaming. The first time I did it, like you mentioned, I used the glass bowl, but it was special for me. I didn't want anyone mixing up any cornbread on the bowl that I had just used for myself. So that's in a nice, secret place. And the woman who taught me to about yoni steaming, um, she said, make it a special day. It's going to be a low key day. You want to get some good water, some quality food, wearing loose fitting clothes, and have plenty of rest for yourself before you kind of engage in that type of activity. You're going to feel really peaceful. It's a really serene experience.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It just feels good. I mean, after you get done, you feel so amazing, so relaxed. Sit in a bucket with some herbs, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Not a big deal, but you get a whole lot of benefits from doing it. That's a guaranteed.
Yes, for sure. So we're going to take some time to answer questions, and we will do the best to answer the questions as they've come to us. But take down my cell phone number. I'm going to put it in the chat here, 573-319-8885. And if you have any questions that you don't want to share in the chat, um, or if we didn't answer your question here today, feel free to send me a text message. So the first, I guess the most common question that we've gotten about vulvic energy cleansing is, why is it important? What do you think, Adelita?
So the reason why I believe it's important, and not only believe it is, but I know it works, is because it allows you to clear up these energies around you. I mean, we're all made of energy. And when you clear up energy, you allow space for the universe or your blessings to come your way, as well as it intertwine your masculine and feminine energy. We really don't know this, but we do have both energies. We have the masculine, we have the feminine energy within us. And if they're not balanced and intertwined, then we tend to be all scattered, and that's what we see coming along in our lives. So actually doing these cleanse allow us to purify the area around us and give us more energetic feel for us to be able to harness what we need to harness. What do you think?
So this is really interesting for me. I'm not an energy worker. I believe that, Jesus is Lord. And the interesting thing, though, is even though I don't subscribe to all of the tenets of energy healing and energy cleansing, I do believe that scientifically we are energetic beings. That's what we're made up of. And also, even though there's just a lot of things, like I might not be into manifestation and law of attraction, but I'm doing these things and I'm seeing results, right? So there's things that are happening even though I might not have the vocabulary to describe it all. And I love what you said about the masculine and feminine energy. We all have that duality within us. And we all even kind of land a little bit on as a spectrum, right? You have the very feminine energy, the completely yin, and then, the very masculine, which is all yang. And then there are people we all kind of line up somewhere in between. And I found this really great article on goop.com, and I want to share a little bit with you specifically about what to look out for if you suspect there might be an imbalance with your masculine and feminine energy. So the first thing is greater yin. So being on the left side, if you will, of the spectrum, that's as feminine energy as it gets, right? So you feel things sometimes before you actually understand them. Others might describe you as being very needy or very sensitive. You're very wise. That's your special power. You're very wise and pensive, and you can connect deeply with any person or any situation. And because the feminine energy is a receiving energy, similar to our natural form, it's a receiving energy. One of the ways to restore that type of imbalance of always receiving and needing is to give. Go and volunteer, help someone out, practice random acts of kindness, and give, right? Stop asking for advice and forfeiting your own inner wisdom and start using your own intuition to empower,
Love it.
right?
I
And
love
then
it.
on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the masculine energy, the greater yang, as it's termed in this article. Um, I don't know why I'm laughing. Sometimes I think I can fall on this masculine energy, but I think I'm a nice in between. But you know, the masculine energy is that is a giving energy, right? They not very good at delegating. They want to do it themselves. Um, they will run laps around people. They have a lot of energy, a lot of drive, a lot of motivation. Before they knew what the term leader was, they were leading, and they don't know how to follow very well. Now, to rebalance that, you have to learn how to delegate. You have to let others pull through for you. You have to learn how to receive and be comfortable receiving, right? You have to be okay with when you delegate certain tasks to allow the person to be their own individual and fall on their face. It has nothing to do with you. Don't personalize that, right? I'm
Right.
getting uncomfortable
That
just saying that. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, there's something in between.
sometimes it's hard for us to like accept certain things about our dominant part of us, because we all have one that is heavier than the next. But when we become aware of which
Yes.
one is, that is the key. Becoming aware is the key to transformation. So when you say that, it puts me in the mind frame of, okay, I gotta notice which part of my uh energies are heavier, which one is more dominant, and look into that and start implementing these things on that end, so I can start balancing them out along with the other things that we mentioned in the teachings just now. It is super important to become aware of the things that are happening around us. That way we will be able to channel things in a different perspective and see things in a different light. And this is what allowed change to happen. So, what's the next question? What was the next question?
So the next question that we got is, well, what's the difference between masculine and feminine energy, and why do they need to be in balance? We just answered that. Do you think, or should we push a bit more?
Um, do you guys feel like that's good enough?
I see some nodding. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that feedback, Keisha. Another question is, using yoni eggs as a spiritual practice, what exactly will I have to abstain from and why? And how long am I abstaining for?
Okay. Well, now as far as the abstinence, I think you have more of a deeper explanation for that, Altia. So I'm gonna leave that for you. But what I want to say about the egg itself and the spiritual effect of the egg, like I mentioned earlier, everything is energy, and everything around us have energy. Some type of an energy it carries with it. So when you talk about the eggs and the type of quartz that they are, they do have energy. And this is my belief. I mean, it depends. People, everybody have their own belief, but in my belief and in my practice and how I feel about crystals and gems and quartz, they do have energy. For me, they carry energy. So along with the practice and knowing and believing that it has the power to amplify what you're doing, I call it a electrical circuit. It helps bring the power source closer to you, and it helps clear path for you when it comes to the energetical field. If you think about it, and I always say this to my kids, know that I love dealing with crystals and having these type of rocks and stuff. If you think about it, we are talking right now, we're communicating, we're using an iPhone, we're using a computer, and we don't know how we're connecting, but there's an energy field that is definitely connecting us. And where is that coming from? Did you know that each one of these devices have some type of a crystal in it that allow these energetic fields to connect together so we can be communicating, even though we're not seeing it? So with that said, these eggs have energy as well that we are not seeing. We don't know where they are or how they are, but I believe that that's where they are. And like I said, I'm basing this on my own belief. Everybody to their own. And even if I look at it the God way, God created everything with energy. He made everything on this earth. So going back to that, Altia, as far as how long should you abstain and why, I'll leave that part to you.
That was a really good answer, Adelita. You're getting me thinking. This is why I like working with you. So I'm, you know, I am, I'll answer the question this way. It's important that everyone do what's right for them. At that given period in their life, right? This is such a personal practice, and similar to what I shared earlier about one of the ways to rebalance the feminine energy, which is to stop looking for advice and turn within. I think I would be wrong for telling you how long you should abstain from activities that lead to penetration, for example. I will say though, and I actually have a meetups.com group called Women Really Do Run the World. Women Really Do Run the World is something that I believe wholeheartedly. And I think our culture is set up in such a way that so many women give away their natural knowing. To be wanted, to be liked, to be loved, to be good enough, to be accepted. And this practice of using the yoni eggs, it can be so much more than just tightening the Kegel muscles, right? It can be an exercise where you are saying, for whatever time works for me, I'm going to go within to explore my inner knowing, to explore the state of my inner terrain, so that I can come out of my cocoon and live the rest and the best of my life. Yeah. What motivates me and why I do the work that I do is because I don't want women to be confused about their power, about who they are, about how they've been created. And so taking some time for yourself, but going alone on a date, cooking a beautiful meal for yourself, abstaining from sex. There's so much beauty and knowledge and uh, power that can be found by doing these things for yourself and by yourself. So that'll be my answer to that question. I hope I answered it.
Perfect. Love it, love it. Like you said, and that all leads down to, self-love. Self-love, and a lot of us don't have self-love. We're here looking for love everywhere else when we don't even love ourselves. If we can't love ourselves, how can we find that outside of us? So self-love is the key to doing these things, because when we're teaching how to do this, it's literally implying the fact that take some time, love yourself, nurture what the most beautiful part of your body. Self-love is it's basically what it boils down to. And like you said, part of that is taking the time out, get yourself pampered, go out for lunch by yourself, hang out with yourself, be with you. um if you can't be with you, who else will want to be with you?
Right.
you know so that for me is pretty deep. And I just want to continue encouraging the people that already know this and the people that are already working on themselves with this to continue doing this, and for the ones that are learning and starting to hone into these powers and hone into becoming a better version of themselves. This is a step, and like I said earlier, small hinges swing big doors. I'm not where I'm at in 2 days. I mean, I've been on this journey more than over 5 years, and the difference and the benefits that I saw happen in my life, I'm pretty sure can happen for every one of us. We all carry this same power, and when we can tune into it and tap into it with the help and the guidance of other people that already experience it, this is where beauty comes in, and this is where love comes in, and we all harmonize and work together as one, as a community, as and help each other. And like I said too earlier, women, we all have a lot of sources. We're all, where we have so many ways to get what we need to get as far as support. What happened to our men? They're human beings too. Not because they don't have a vagina doesn't mean they don't have stuck energies. So I advocate for men as well. And like I said, I have two sons, and I have men in my family. So I try to support these kind of people, because it's so sad to see broken homes, broken family, because of these toxic energy that is just compiling, just destroying all our families. Um, so I don't want to stray away from the topic. Um, so let's see, and is anybody else have a question
So
that you might want
Chrissy
to?
asked if she can use the eggs and just to avoid steaming with Myrina. Uh,
Yes,
so
that yeah.
for the eggs, the movement of the egg can bump up against the IUD and push it out of place. So I can't advise Chrissy specifically on you. I don't know what Marina is, and that's outside of my scope of practice to kind of give that advice. But generally, you want to avoid the use of an egg because even the yoni string can also be tangled with the IUD strings. Now, I do know that there are some IUDs now that are go in the arm or something like that, and again, I'm just to be safe, I can't really advise, but just generally, I'll recommend avoiding the use of the yoni egg, especially if your IUD is has been vaginally inserted and not somewhere somewhere else. and I have read somewhere else that a pelvic specialist stated that using the yoni egg with an IUD can actually reduce the IUD's effectiveness as a contraceptive device. So no, uh, that's that's okay. Um, any other questions?
Let me add to that too, Altia. The ones that are inserted in the arm, you can steam whatever. The main thing is if it's up in there. If it's up in there, you don't want to mess with nothing around that area once the IUD is inserted. But like you said, they have some that you put in the arm. You could totally do whichever one. You will be totally fine. Because I know that will be going through some people had where if they have it in the arm, can we really do it? Yes, you can, because that doesn't have, not inserted in that part of your sexy sacred area. So, and then, like, I would encourage you trying to do the saging and the what you call it, the sweet grass, lighting up those, do some incense, kind of purify your area. That also helps, if you cannot really use the steaming or the egg, you can also use those herbal type of purification as well. um I use them all the time. If I feel like I don't want to steam this week, or the week that I choose to, and I just feel like relax, I turn on some meditation music and light a little sage, clean up my area, clean the clutter around. That helps a whole lot. Like Altia said, get rid of stuff. That is, when you have so much stuff, it tends to show that you are saving you're projecting outside what's inside. You're projecting out of you what's totally in you. So if you're cluttered all over the place and you have so much junk everywhere, your place is dirty, you're projecting that from within. So to feel a little lighter and let go some of those energies, I'd recommend doing that if you can't really do the other two that we talked about. Clearing the clutter and then lighting some of these products. Now we got 5 more minutes before we wrap up. So we got time for one more question, if there's any more, or Altia, if you have anything else you want to elaborate on.
Any questions in the chat box, and those were the ones that we got in advance. So I want to point anyone out specifically, Keisha, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We want to make sure you get what you came for.
And Chrissy, how's it there in Alaska? I gotta come visit you over there, girl.
What's that?
How is it there in Alaska? Is it cold? Is it icy? What is going on over there?
It is about 21 degrees right now, and it's a little bit warmer than yesterday, so it's not too bad, but very snowy.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, it's so beautiful with technology. You can talk to people all over the world. I mean, I'm loving this. Actually, this is my first Zoom, first webinar. Thank you, Atia, for collaborating with me. This is so good. And for all of you who and came to this webinar, I mean, you guys are awesome. This it shows that you are interested in becoming a better version of yourself. So with that said, well, we are going to wrap things up. Did Keisha have anything else? I will have some homework. Okay. All right. Don't worry, Keisha. You can feel free to reach out. And we got you. So, and as for those of you who tuned in too, just reach out. You know, we are gonna do our best to try to help you to get to where you want to be. You know, with that said, let's just wrap up this cleanse and rebalance your power source webinar. Thank you guys for spending half of your couple of hours of your, or an hour I should say, of your Sunday with us. Remember, if you want to receive the Yoni Sema instructions and recommendation for products, or if you have any question around what we talked about today, feel free, send me a message with in an email or the chat button below, or private message me at my personal page, Adelita Rayburn, or at my business page, Adele at Heart, or at my, you can easily find me on YouTube as well, where you can send me an email at yahoo.com. I mean, at adelita.com. That way you can send me any message. Altia, you have anything else you want to share before we close?
Yes. So I know we're right on the hour, so I'll second what you've said. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday with us, ladies. It was such a joy sharing space with you. So let's just do a quick recap. So we covered the 2 vulvic cleansing practices that can rebalance your power source. Number 1, the use of yoni eggs to rebalance heavy emotions. Number 2, using yoni steaming to tap into your creative potential, and so much more. Both of these practices help to release trauma and tension, and they heal emotional wounding, as well as make your vulva super toned and healthy. And there's really just so much to gain from these practices. And the only thing that you'll lose is negative energy. And finally, the clearing the clutter exercise offered some practical strategies to let go of those physical hindrances to your sense of true fulfillment in life. And let me just ask you, is it possible for you to take action on one of the 5 strategies today? Which one will you do today? Just one small thing. Okay, so the combination of energy cleansing and clearing your physical space is powerful. It's not every day that we get to have an open dialogue about our power source. And it really was such a privilege to be able to deliver this material to you. And Adelita has given you all her avenues to stay connected. I have one, which is meetups.com. And my group is called Women Really Do Run the World. If you're looking for a safe space to connect with other professional and ambitious women, if you want to engage in some fun online community, if you're looking for some every now and again group coaching experiences, that's where you can find all of that. And of course, I've left my cell phone number if you want to ask me any questions one-on-one. So thank you so much, Adelita, for doing this with me.
Yeah, I totally appreciate that, Althea. And yeah, guys, look forward to the next one coming next month. It's going to be another juicy topic, so look out for that. I will be posting that hopefully sometime by mid-January. I just want to be able to give to the community and start letting people into what the real joy of life really, really is. So thank you guys for joining us, and we shall see you in our next webinar. Peace out, guys. Bye.